If you sell expensive stuff online and you would like to know how to sell more of that stuff more easily so that you can make a lot more money, then in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to do that using a little known tool called email. If you don't know me, my name is Olly Richards. I'm the founder of StoryLearning.com, a multi-million-dollar online education business. I'm also a mentor and advisor to other online entrepreneurs in the education space. So when it comes to selling stuff online, we're going to focus here more on expensive stuff, simply because to sell lower ticket stuff, it's fairly straightforward. You know, often it's just a case of urgency and scarcity, being clear in your marketing, in your copy. But when it comes to selling more expensive stuff, there's another thing at play. And to demonstrate this, I'd like to show you two characters, very lifelike characters, who are potential customers. Here is customer number one. This person is not ready to buy your stuff. Here's customer number two. They are ready to buy your stuff. And what we want to do on the customer journey is bring them fairly obviously from here to here, from being at a place where they do not believe that what you have is right for them, to here where they do believe that the thing that you have is right for them. And the key word here is believe, because in order for someone to proceed with an expensive purchase, they have to have the belief that the thing that you are offering in the guise that you are offering it is the right thing for them. It is going to solve the problem that they have and that you are the best option for them. So it's quite a complex, multifaceted set of beliefs that people need to have. More often than not, entrepreneurs simply fail to be very clear about what it is that they have and how it's going to help their prospect. And that lack of clarity inevitably ends up losing sales because no one buys from a place of confusion. So what we're trying to do in taking someone from a journey from here to here is to systematically instill in them the beliefs that they need in order to be able to confidently say yes. And this is a process that we're going to call belief mapping. And this is the principle of mapping the different beliefs that someone needs to have in order to be ready to buy from you onto a sequence of marketing messages such that by the end they believe all the things they need to believe in order to make a purchase decision. Now, this isn't something new to me. Many marketers talk about this. I've learned this from people such as Andre Chaperon and Bastian Ernst. But what I'm going to show you now is exactly how I go about doing this whenever I'm preparing to sell anything substantial. So to demonstrate this, let me take you through an example. We'll use coaching because coaching tends to be quite expensive, and let's use weight loss coaching as an example. This is not something that I offer, something I probably benefit from, to be honest, but I'll use this as a generic example just to kind of show the system that we're going to go through. So let's take the prospect at the start of the journey. So this is someone who is not yet ready, does not yet believe that the weight loss coaching that you offer is right for them. And the kind of belief that they're going to express is going to be, if you can see this, it says, I'm not the kind of person to take coaching, it's expensive and I can save money by doing it myself, right? You can see the mindset here. This is your typical prospect at the beginning. Obviously, they're not going to buy when they believe that. At the point where they are ready to buy from you, they will believe, or what you want them to believe is something like this. So I believe that coaching is the easiest, fastest, and most reliable way to lose weight. The only way to do this is to buy this coaching package from this particular vendor. Okay? So what we want to figure out how to do is to take someone from this to this very straightforwardly. That's the challenge. So the end result, the place where we want to get to, is a sequence of emails that will systematically instill the beliefs that the customer needs in order to be ready to buy. Okay? So in order to get there, the first thing we need to do is to start to brainstorm all the beliefs that someone actually needs to have in order to be ready to buy this weight loss coaching, right? So let's have a look at some of these. Now, I'm obviously not an expert in this area, but I think you'll be able to follow along and you'll certainly be able to get the gist. So coaching brings benefits in other areas of my life as well, like focus, self-belief, discipline. You can see how this belief is going to contribute to being prepared to go ahead with coaching, right? Coaching works for anybody, even me. You have to believe that it can work for you. I will save time with coaching because of the faster results. Crucial belief. It might be more expensive, but it actually saves you time. I'm not paying by the hour and I'm guaranteed all the help I need. So the alternative to coaching is usually kind of hourly sessions with a personal trainer or something like that. So here with coaching, it's no longer a by the hour thing, which makes it actually more efficient because you can get help whenever you need it. Coaching helps you lose weight faster than you would be able to by yourself, fundamental to the benefit of coaching, right? Coaching will prevent start and stop syndrome by keeping you accountable. The financial investment will motivate me to try harder. Coaching is exceptional value for money when the alternative is failure. Coaching lowers stress levels and makes me happier. The most successful people in the world have personal coaches in all areas of their lives. And then fundamentally, coaching works, and it has for lots of other people too, because no one wants to be that first idiot who kind of falls for the scam, right? So you want to know that other people have done it. So what I've done here is basically started by just brainstorming a whole bunch of beliefs that I think, not just a whole bunch, but all of the beliefs that I believe that someone will need in order to be ready to proceed with coaching. So what we want to do then, once we've got these beliefs, is actually sequence them, because they will come in a specific order. This one here, coaching helps you lose weight faster than I would be able to by myself. This is something that you kind of want to, you need to believe early on, because if you don't believe that coaching can help you lose weight faster, then other things aren't going to matter. Compare that to, for example, I'm no longer paying by the hour and I'm guaranteed all the help that I need. If you're thinking about this sequentially, first you want to believe that coaching works and it helps you lose weight. And then from there, you're going to be, the next kind of belief that needs to fit into place is that, okay, this is actually financially viable as well because I'm no longer paying by the hour. And so you want to start to sequence all of these into the sequential journey that someone would have to go through in order to transition from Mr. A to Mr. B. So what I've done here is I've put it into order, and you can kind of see now how this makes sense. So first of all, you have to believe that coaching works and it's worked for other people. Okay, this is kind of starting belief. Then next, you have to believe that it can work for anybody, even me with all of my flaws. Next, after that, you have to believe that coaching can help you lose weight faster than you would be able to by yourself. So coaching as a mode of learning makes sense. And then at the same time, it will save you time because of those faster results, and so on and so forth. And then that takes you all the way down to the end, when then you start to justify the financial investment, and then the kind of rational part of the sales process kicks in, so you're kind of ticking all of the boxes. So this is the journey that we know that we want to take people on in order to have the right beliefs that your coaching is right for them. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, then I'd really love it if you take a second to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and even leave me a comment below. It's free and easy for you to do, but it really helps me to grow the channel, hack the algorithm, all of that good stuff. So thanks so much in advance for doing that. Now back to the video. So what happens next? Well, what you'll find is that some of these are quite similar, right? So they can be slightly different points, but basically the same. So for example, here, the last two, coaching is exceptional value for money when the alternative is failure. And also the financial investment will motivate me to try harder. So this is all related to the finances. And so what we're going to start to do is just think, right, well, this is the same kind of point that we're making. And so what we're going to do now is take these beliefs and map them onto a sequence of emails. And so what we've got here is a little table where we've got email on one side and then proof. I'll come to this in just a second. So these are the emails that we're going to send, and we want to now divide this up into a sequence of emails that makes sense. How many emails? The answer is the necessary number of emails in order to convey these different beliefs. So we've already bracketed these together here by saying that this is talking about the financial validity of coaching, right? So what about if we look at the others? So here we've got ones about coaching bringing benefits to other parts of your life, lowering stress, preventing start and stop syndrome. It's all kind of the same thing. They're not the core benefits of coaching, but they're kind of tangential, they're important. And so we could probably lump those together in one email. So we would aim to convey this belief in one email. Next we're talking about how coaching will save you time. That's probably the same email right there. And then we've got one here which is coaching works and it works for anybody. And we've got this kind of straggler here in the middle, which is that the most successful people in the world all have their own coaches as well. So what we've got here is a sequence of emails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 emails that we're going to send. So to take a step back now, what we've got is a system of beliefs that we need to instill in the prospect, and we know that we're going to send 5 emails that will instill those beliefs. How do you instill those beliefs over email? Quite simply using stories. And so what I always do is I look at these beliefs and I say, right, how can I tell a story that is going to convey the importance and gravity of this belief? And so this is an example of an email that can do this. This is telling the story. It's kind of a well-known parable of a boy who's playing in a sandpit, and he's got this big rock in the middle of the sandpit and he wants to get it out of the sandpit, and so he tries to roll the rock towards the edge and push it out of the sandpit, but he can't because the rock's a little bit too heavy and the edge of the sandpit's a bit too high, so he can't quite get it out. And so he kind of just collapses exhausted and said, I can't do it. And then his father comes and he says, well, why haven't you managed to get it out? And he said, I can't do it because it's too heavy for me. And the father says, well, you didn't use all the resources you had. You didn't use all the options you had. And the boy says, well, what do you mean? And the father says, well, you could have asked me. So the father bends down, plucks the rock out of the sandpit, and then Bob's your uncle. So the point being here, this is a story that illustrates the fact that in order to succeed, you can take advantage of the help of other people who are more experienced than you, who can help you achieve something. And so this is it's a simple story, but it just starts to put you in the mindset of thinking, okay, it's valid to get help, and there are other people who can help me because they can do this a lot more easily than I can, and you don't have to go it alone. So this speaks to this kind of question here, where coaching helps you lose weight faster than you would be able to by yourself, right? So you can find little stories like this, and you can kind of pivot it to match this. We can't really go into the details of that here, but essentially you're looking for stories that convey this kind of emotion. So that kind of takes care of the stories and the belief side of things, and that's all very well, but there is one other element to marketing, especially for expensive stuff, that is absolutely indispensable in actually giving someone the confidence to make a purchasing decision, and that is the element of proof. I believe it was Gary Bencivenga who said if there was only one marketing element that you could keep and use that alone, what would it be? And the answer is proof, because if you can prove that your thing works, then it's not logical to go anywhere else. And so what you then want to do is to inject proof elements into all of the emails that you're writing. And there are lots of different proof elements that you have in your business. You can have testimonials. What have we got here? Testimonials. You've got case studies, hopefully, but there's other things like logical proof, so you can explain something logically. That's also a form of proof. You can also use quotes from famous people. The fewer case studies and testimonials that you've got, the more that you might want to rely on things like logical proof and quotations. But the point is, we want to plan how these proof elements are going to be inside the emails, because then you can actually write them and it's all nice and it's all nice and coherent and it's been thought through. So what we want to do now is going to go through and just match all the things up to all the proof elements up to the emails. And this is simply a case of say, like looking what you've got and then say, right, well, let's put this case study would go really well with this email. This logical proof would go really well up here. This is a good testimonial that kind of matches the story we're telling there. I haven't really got anything for email 2, so let's find a quote from I don't know, Winston Churchill or something and put that in there. And so you then get to a place where you know exactly what stories you're going to write, and you've backed that all up. It can be a small piece of text within the email. You could even link out to a case study that's more in depth or something like that. It doesn't really matter. The key point is that you know what belief you're trying to teach. You've written a story that instills that belief, and then you've got proof elements which then come in and actually back that up with irrefutable evidence of what you're offering. And that's the process that we're trying to go through. Now, obviously not every person reads every email, that's just a fact of life, but what we really want to do with this kind of marketing is just make it so that for the people who do go through and read everything, our most engaged prospects, or people who are just simply on the fence and just looking for more information, that we give them everything that they need to properly understand what we're offering and make the right decision for them. So I hope that was useful for you. If you want more stuff like this, you can visit my website at ollyrichards.co, sign up to the newsletter. I have a case study, which is 118 pages, that explains exactly how my business story learning works, and you can download that for free. So in this video, we've talked about how to use emails for very targeted promotions in order to sell very specific things, but we also use email over at Story Learning to drive millions of dollars in sales on autopilot. And if you'd like to see the complete system that we use to do this from start to finish, then this video over here is quite in depth, but it's going to show you how the whole thing works. So go ahead and check that out.